So your experience is you raised your energy vibrational level to attract your spouse. Um, I'm reflecting on things that my wife has mentioned to me over the years. I've been married for over 18 years. Had a lot of ups and downs, as a lot of relationships do. But recently, she had mentioned to me that I wasn't the same person that she met when she married me. And I'm like, well, my excuse was we all change. And she said, I feel like you were vibrating at a higher level when I first met you than what you are now. And my wife is pretty sensitive to these sorts of things. I started Dispenza's work about 6 months before, 4 to 6 months before she did. And it seems like she's just sprouted way above me as far as being um, at a higher energy level, being able to get forgive and let go, although she is struggling with some things that she's trying to forgive. Um, and I liked what you said about it not being a competition, because in my own household, I am a very competitive individual. Now, is that my new future self? Maybe not. I think if we're really vibrating at a high frequency of ultimate love, I don't think competition fits in that box. So maybe that's not going to be in my future self once I elevate my vibrational level. But I do feel sometimes jealousy. I feel the competitive nature come up. Um, and I'm glad to say today it's much less frequent. And when it happens, it's not like this all encompassing, overpowering emotion for me. And at least I'm conscious of it. And I realize now that it's not effective at all to harbor those kind of feelings, because it will reduce your vibrational energy. It will, in my own personal experience anyway, it has reduced the effectiveness of my meditations. I don't feel like I get as much out of them. I have to work harder. So it's an interesting dynamic, because I think a lot of different viewers are going to have different situations. Either they're in a relationship today where they're the only practicing meditator, trying to awaken themselves, raise their energy vibration level, and their spouse or their other part of their relationship is not. You have your type of a situation, and you have mine. And so um, I like just there's some examples of entanglement where people, and I think this gives hope for some of the situations out there. Um, you had an experience where your mother came with you to Dallas. She's not a practicing meditator, stayed in the hotel during the whole week-long event, but yourself noticed big changes in her. I think you said other relatives were like, what happened while she was there, because she was completely different. My children came with us to Dallas. They're not practicing meditators, didn't go to the event itself, just stayed in the room, but they seem to have improvements. The other Dispenza chat with Aaron said he had some things come up with his mother and one of his sisters, because he was thinking of them in the meditations, and they were having some Dispenza die-off effects in their body that were exactly the same as what he was going through. So I think there's just a lot of empirical evidence and also actual scientific evidence of entanglement, and how even if we raise our vibrational level and those around us are not, they will be benefited in some way, shape, or form by us just keeping our level high. What say you to that, Bo?
Yes, I absolutely agree, and because I also believe that it works both directions, right? Like you can things, certain environments can bring you down. Um, if all is bad, all is not good, and then certain environments can also bring you up. So I think that that it absolutely is true, and I saw it happen in my mom. And that was kind of my experiment. Dr. Joe talks about what's your experiment, and
Mm-hmm.
that's part of me maintaining this coherence and staying in this work is I keep experimenting. And that was one of my experiments was, okay, I'm gonna bring my mom. I'm gonna just let her. She doesn't know anything about. I mean, I've talked to her like a little bit about meditation, but it's such a broad topic that I don't. Somebody that's not very interested, it's hard to really kind of dive off into it. But I just told her it's helping me a lot, and come on. So she came, and I didn't even know she had a rash like across, like underneath here. And I didn't even know she had this rash, but I came in one day after, I think it was like day 3 or 4, And like I think we'd already done a one coherence healing. And when I came, as soon as we got done with the coherence healing, we got released for the day. I gathered my stuff. I went right back to the room, and I just walked into the room and just like touched my mom, just hugged my mom, and just told her how much I loved her. But my experiment was just all of this healing energy just to run off, onto her. Well, the next day I meet her after breakfast, and she told me, she said, I had a rash here. She showed me a pharmaceutical, like from the doctor, a cream that was given for the rash, and she'd been putting it on every day, and she had gone that day to put it on just like every day, and the rash was completely gone. um, her attitude has been her entire attitude since Dallas has been uh completely different. Like she's getting out more, she's going places. She went trick-or-treating with my nieces, which when I'm referring to, my mom wasn't, doing, was staying inside quite a bit. And so I definitely believe that that the energy, it does, it is contagious. Let's put it that way. It is very contagious.